Okay, so welcome back to Ligem, and in this video we are going to solve some MCQs on modern history. So here we are going to solve the MCQs on revolts. Okay, the revolts in the northern as well as the western parts of India, that is pre 1857. So let's get started. Let us solve some MCQs on the revolts before 1857 in northern and western parts of India. Okay, so first of all, you have to approach the RRB General Awareness for Ntpc and Group D. You click here, and then you click on the English medium. Okay, that's obvious. And after that, you go to the history section. Okay, thereafter, you click on modern history. Okay, so this is the page for modern history, and as you can see, we have a lot of chapters, and we actually have to go to this part, that is chapter 6, Important Rebellions Before 1857 Revolt. So let's explore this chapter. Okay, so this is one of the lessons in RRB Group D and NTPC Modern History, Chapter 6, that is pre 1857 revolts. So these are the revolts that happened before the major revolt, that is 1857 revolt. And here in this video, we are going to discuss and solve the MCQs on those revolts which happened in the northern and the western parts of India, and that too before 1857. So there are around, I think, 11 questions. Okay, yeah, I think there are 11 questions. So let's solve each of these questions one by one, and let me remind you that these questions are really important. Okay, so we will start with the first question. The Kuka Revolt spread in this region. Now, Kuka Revolt is a very important revolt. It is also known as the Namdhari Revolt, and this happened in parts of Punjab. So the correct answer is option C, Punjab. Okay, then we have the second question. When did Kuka Revolt happen? Now, this is again a very important question. Kuka Revolt is important for exams like UPSC. Okay, whether it will come for RRB, I'm not sure, but let's imagine it will come, because Kuka Revolt is actually an agrarian revolt and it is very important for exams like RRB also. So we have the second question. When did the Kuka Revolt happen? So the Kuka Revolt happened in 1840. Okay, option A, 1840. Then we have the third question. Who was the leader of Kuka Revolt? Now again we have the same answer, okay, because we have worked with three questions. This is the third question, and as you can see, again the answer is option A. So who was the leader of Kuka Revolt? It was Baba Ram Singh. Okay, so there were actually three or four leaders, but he was the most important one, and we have the rest of the answers like Kanwar Singh, Madhya Singh, and Prem Singh. These are all wrong. The correct answer is Baba Ram Singh. Then we have the fourth question. What was the other name for Kuka Revolt? So as I mentioned earlier, Kuka Revolt was also known as Namdhari Movement. Option B, Namdhari Movement. Okay, then we have the fifth question. The Waghera Rising happened in. Now, the Waghera Rising happened in Baroda. Baroda is in Gujarat, that is western part of India. Now, one of the reasons why the Waghera Rising happened is because there was a branch of rulers called as Gaikwads. And Gaikwads became friends with the Britishers, and the Gaikwads actually started imposing a lot of taxes on the farmers. And that is why it led to a revolt, and it was known as Waghera Rising. So the correct answer is option D, Baroda. Okay, then we have the sixth question. The Waghera Rising was directed against. So as I mentioned earlier, the Waghera Rising was directed against the Gaikwads. Okay, option C, Gaikwads. Then we have the seventh question. Who led the Bhil uprising in Western Ghat? So the correct answer is there was a guy called as Ram who led this revolt in Western Ghats. So there is a difference in Bhil uprising in the Western Ghats and Bhil uprising in the central regions such as Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. So this is the Bhil uprising in Western Ghats. So the correct answer is Ram. Okay, then we have the eighth question. The Koli Revolt spread across. The Koli Revolt is also one of the important revolts, a major important revolt in Gujarat. That is before 1857 revolt. So the correct answer is option D, Gujarat. Okay. Okay, ninth question. Kolhapur revolt was led by Maratha military class of men. Now there was a group called as Gadkaris. Okay, there is a group called as Gadkaris. So the prominent role the Gadkaris played was they were also the military men who guarded the forts of the Maratha Empire. So after the Maratha Empire was disbanded, these people, that the Gadkaris, were rendered, let's say, homeless, at the same time jobless. So this was a revolt against the Britishers by Gadkaris. Correct answer is option A, Gadkaris. Okay, then we have the 10th question. The salt duty agitation was led in this region. Now, even before Gandhiji's march, that is the salt march, there was an agitation, and this was one of these agitation that was really successful. The reason was the Britishers, as usual, imposed a significant tax, and the salt tax was increased from 50 paisa to the salt price was increased from 50 paisa to 1 rupee, and that was significantly high during that time. So this happened in the region that is Surat. Okay, the correct answer is Surat. Okay, then we have the 11th question. The Ramosi revolts in Western Ghats was led by. Okay, so the Ramosi revolt in Western Ghats was led by a person called as Chitur Singh. Okay, Chitur Singh, option D, Chitur Singh. Okay, so we have solved around 11 questions. So let's have a look how many of them are correct. So let me just straight away click on finish. 11 out of 11. Excellent. All our answers are correct.